Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 794 Sunrise Drive South here in Jefferson. We're located at the front of the home. We're just beyond the front door here, or the patio area, or the concrete patio. We have a 3-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We'll introduce some water to the line here in just a moment, and I'll zero out the camera length counter here right at the base of the cleanout. And we'll reverse direction and scope back underneath the porch here once we're finished going out to the street. Transitions here at 20 feet over to 4-inch Schedule 3034 PVC pipe. Transitions here to 6-inch concrete pipe at 24 feet out. Alright, and here at 48 feet on the dot, we have reached the main lateral. And I'll do locates to verify where that's at. And we'll let the line drain out here completely. It does look like we've got some standing water here towards the end of the line in this concrete section. I don't know if the city out here in Jefferson takes responsibility in the street area. This is the first time I've ever been out to this town, so I'm not entirely sure if they. Many smaller towns do take responsibility once you hit the right-of-way or the street curb. So that's definitely important to look into, just so you know how responsibility is divvied up. Alright, I located the camera head successfully out the main lateral on South Sunrise Drive. The line is totally drained out at this point. So we have some standing water left over here. Looks like the line out in the street there is settled, and you end up getting pooling in that situation. And it's fairly thick with debris. Now this is a brand new home here. The first portion of the line is new, but then the other half of it is original to whatever house used to be here. And opening up this clean out here, it is absolutely spotless. I don't even know if hardly any water has ever been run down this thing before. So it makes it a little trickier to gauge how this line is going to behave with this belly in here. You can obviously see this is causing debris to hang up because the water is just white and thick with toilet paper. Now, bellies are the kind of thing they can be lived with. It's obviously not ideal if you're really careful as to what goes down the sewer line, making sure that it's only folded toilet paper, and just making sure you're not putting huge amounts of food down the disposal. But you want to avoid big wads of toilet paper, paper towels, grease from going down the sink, any type of wipe, whether they're flushable or not. Anything except for toilet paper and food down the disposal are going to hang up in this belly really easily, and even toilet paper is going to, but it breaks down a lot easier than those other items. It looks like the belly here starts at about 34 feet out, and it extends all the way out to the main lateral. And at its deepest point here, the water level is going up over the top of the camera lens. So we've got about I would say an inch to an inch and a half of standing water here. It's not going over that, but it's around 3/4 to 1 inch where I see debris hang up in lines. So you can see how much stuff I'm shoveling through here right now. Now, I do recommend correcting this. If a repair is not done to fix the belly, I recommend doing a hydrojet to blow all the debris out of the line. and then I would do a rescope in 1 year to see how the debris is building up, because the HydroJet will get everything out of the line and get it down to absolutely clean. So you want to recheck it in a year to see how that belly is behaving there, and to see if you need to do jetting on some kind of routine basis. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. A lot of it has to do with the amount of people in the house and their living habits. So, but I do recommend a repair to correct this. I'm going to put I've already done a marking out at the main lateral connection. I've done a white T. It's in the middle of the road. And I was picking the line up out there at about 7 feet 6 inches deep. Alrighty, I've located and mapped out the repair here. It actually starts a little bit before 34 feet. The camera's kind of riding up the sidewall, so it's kind of hard to tell, but it starts here at 33 feet. Which is about a foot and a half beyond the curb out into the street. The whole thing is under the road. It's 6 feet deep here at the beginning and 7 foot 6 inches deep out the main lateral connection. Again, I do recommend a repair to correct that, as it's obviously causing debris to hang up in the line. The concern is once it builds up to a certain point, it can block the sewer pipe up. Bellies can be lived with. Again, I kind of explained earlier what things to avoid from going down the line. If you're not going to do a repair, again, I would recommend doing a HydroJet to clean the line out, and then a rescope in a year to see what it looks like at that point. That will give you a pretty good gauge for how often you need to be doing any cleaning. And you may not have to do any at all. If you're putting the right stuff down the line, it may not build up all that quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and reel out, and again, check with the city. That whole section there's out in the road. Again, a lot of these towns, the city takes responsibility in the roadway. So it's very important to do that. It would not surprise me at all if that was their responsibility, because the new construction here, they ran their new pipe out to, I believe, right at the sidewalk. There's usually a reason why they do that. A lot of the time, that's often where the homeowner's responsibility stops at. It's also cheaper to do that too. They don't have to start digging up the road, so it could be either. But we have great flow all the way out until 33 feet. At that point, it's obviously being hindered by the standing water and debris. The line is still functioning, but it's not functioning properly. All the pipe on property, the new pipe here is in great shape and has perfect flow throughout it. I'm going to reverse direction here real quick, and we're going to go back under the porch. We're now heading back towards the home. At this point here, we are back inside the crawl space. So all the pipe underneath the porch is also in good condition and functioning properly at this time. Once again, all the new pipes in great shape, functioning properly. The concrete does have the belly in it, which I recommend repairing, as it's causing debris to build up in the sewer line. And if you do a repair, I highly recommend doing a rescope to ensure it was done correctly. And that's all marked. The belly is all marked out in the street out there with white paint.